Before I moved to the valley, I had no idea that a border wall existed. I had never heard talk of it, I never knew anything about it, and working at Santa Ana, I had driven by segments of it over that direction, but this site and this very wall behind me was the first wall that I actually physically came in contact and saw. And I was shocked to learn that, especially with South Texas being such an ecotourism destination, that anyone would think to wall off a nature site and not allow the public into this beautiful space behind us. When I was working for U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in New Jersey, I was seasonal and I didn't have anything to do for the winter. But the reason that I had inquired about the position was because of Santa Ana and it's nationwide and even internationally known for its birding. When I came down here, I made it a point to see all of the 21 or so nature sites in the Rio Grande Valley. There's about 30 species here in South Texas that can't be seen anywhere else in the United States. They could easily go to Mexico and see these species or other places in Central America, but if they want to get them on their American Birding Association list and tick that off of their checklist for the ABA, they need to come here to South Texas. And that's part of the $463 million that's brought into the Rio Grande Valley each year through ecotourism.
What the administration is proposing, besides 28 more miles of concrete wall with 18-foot steel bollard fence on top, they also want an enforcement zone, meaning a cleared 150-foot area that will go into, whether it's private property or refuge land. It will be cleared, it will be lit, there will be a road on it, and it's just multiplying the environmental impact. Well, what we're seeing here is the Levee wall. This was built between 2008 and 2010. The International Boundary and Water Commission has a levee along here to protect from flooding when the river goes into flood. So they basically removed the inner third of the levee and put up this concrete wall, which in this area is probably about 18 feet tall. If you added 18 feet of steel bollard fence on top of this, you're looking at something that's taller than the Great Wall of China, taller than any prison wall. It's impassable, totally impassable for any kind of wildlife.
In terms of a potential wall at Santa Ana, I'm concerned that ecotourists are going to come here from all over the country or even all over the world and have the same experience at Santa Ana that I did at this site. We don't have black and white answers as to whether or not, if a wall is built at Santa Ana, the public will be allowed beyond it, but I highly doubt it, personally. I think it's very likely that they'll put up the wall and they'll put up a few gates and they'll let staff in, but no longer the public.
There's over 50 wildlife refuge tracks along the river, and these walls are a disaster for the refuge because nothing can get past a concrete wall. So all the wildlife that's on the riverside cannot get out, and this is particularly a problem during a flood because periodically the river goes into flood and wildlife will not be able to get out. Wildlife will be trapped. And during times of drought, it's really almost the reverse. Wildlife that is north of the levee that's trying to get to water, the river, can't. So there's no animal passage in either direction. The wildlife refuge actually becomes a death trap. For the refuge, nothing could be worse. It's an unmitigated disaster.